Hi, Adamo here. Wild and Wise Women, Wild and Wise Sisterhood. I'm so excited to be here with you for this divine appointment in a very special place. It's the place that I call the Why Crossroads. The Why Crossroads. What's so special about it? Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you, it can look like a number of different things, and I'll talk a little bit about that. All I know is the other morning, I woke up and I was literally, I was literally in a panic. I woke up totally questioning, who am I? It was, who am I? I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing these things. I thought I had a purpose and I'm not feeling it this morning. It's like, where's the magic in my life? I really woke up in that place of almost a nothingness and a void, which can be a very special place. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about those moments in life where we really have a question, a curiosity about why. That particular day, I was completely questioning everything. I asked myself, have I ever done anything in my life that I really wanted to? Or have I always been responding to and doing things out of social conditioning, out of, what I'd been told to do, out of peer pressure? Really, I mean, what an interesting place to wake up in complete fear and not knowing who I am or why I'm here and what I'm doing. Questions like, have I ever done anything that was worthwhile? What's the point? What is the point, really? Whew, it's an interesting place. And the why crossroads doesn't have to be something that is so completely soul-shattering, if you will, like mine was. Sometimes it can be as simple as, I've been invited to a party and I'm not really sure I want to go. Even in choices like that, there's a why. Why would we want to? How does it serve us? What does it serve? Who's making the choice? Is it me as my, grown-up wild and wise woman, the divine sister goddess who's here, extraordinarily making a difference in the world? Or am I making that choice from that little girl who was never invited to parties when I was growing up, who always felt like she was so alone? Is that who's thinking about going to this party? Because if I'm in my wild and wise woman, I really allow myself to be discerning and not judgmental. A party's a party. Hey, yeah, wow, love it. And yet maybe because of what's going on otherwise in my life, it wouldn't serve me to go. Maybe I'd be more well served to stay home and light some candles and take a nice mineral salt bath or something like that. But if I'm looking at that party from that little girl who felt so alone and who felt so outside of everything because she was so different. The one girl that people whispered about, but they never invited to parties. If I'm making that choice to go to that party from that place, then I'm probably going to choose to go to that party, whether it really serves me or not, whether it's going to be fun or not. And because it's an unconscious thing for me, I'm likely not to enjoy it. And my little girl probably isn't going to be able to either. So when we find ourselves in this place of a why crossroads, what do we do? Well, sometimes we struggle with it, right? We struggle with our decisions. We just struggle with our choices. We go back and forth and forth and back and back and forth and forth and back. Whew, making my head hurt, making me dizzy. And we make choices that end up with results that, aren't our heart's desires. The results that then we have to work with. And again, What I teach is what I know. And what I know is there's no way to make a wrong choice. There really isn't. Every choice is the best decision that you can make in that moment. And then the results that come up, you deal with them. But that's a whole nother talk. That's a whole nother wild and wise talk about how to deal with that. This one's about being at those crossroads of why. So let me go back to that morning when I woke up and I really felt like I wasn't even sure that I needed to exist, that I needed to be on this planet. A crossroads like that is best faced and best looked at from a place of faith. I learned a long time ago that faith and fear are not able to occupy the same moment, the same space and time. Either you're in faith or you're in fear. It's not both. And certainly there have been times in my life where I literally had to make the conscious choice of being in faith moment by moment by moment. Anyone who's had any exposure to or experience with addiction of any kind, whether it's drugs, alcohol, food, relationships, whatever it is, you know that in the recovery from that, in the recovery of yourself, the remembering of yourself, it is a moment by moment, day by day, moment by moment thing. So when you find yourself, because it's going to happen, it's part of who we are as humans to continue to expand, to continue to ask ourselves, why are we here and who am I? They're very important questions, and they're important questions to be faced with faith, not fear. So if you find yourself in a position where you're just not even sure what it's all about, allow yourself to be in faith. And I talk about the difference between trust and faith. Trust is something that I find that is earned. So for example, to trust someone who is leading me down a particular path, and I'm talking about an actual path on a hike. I've gone with this person several times on a hike and I've never gotten lost. We've always made it back. It's like, woohoo, yay. So I trust this person to lead me down the path and get me back to where I want to go. So it's something that has happened over time with experience. Faith, on the other hand, you either have it or you don't. And that's so cool because it's not about having to earn it or having to learn it or having to anything. It's a choice. Faith is a choice. By the grace of the universe, faith is a choice. And it happens every time you say to yourself and you allow yourself to feel in that place of, I am safe. I am secure. I know that I'm taken care of. I know that I'm well held. It doesn't matter what the circumstances look like in my life. I know, not know, but know this to be true. Faith is a choice. And you're invited to make that choice anytime and every time that you need it. What else do I need to okay. Another amazing thing about this why crossroads is that every time you find yourself in the why crossroads, celebrate, because I can tell you there's going to be a couple of things there for you in those crossroads. One is going to be an opportunity, as I said, to choose faith. Another thing that's there waiting for you in those crossroads is your why. It's called the why crossroads because your why is there. Your purpose is there. That's the awesome thing about being a human is we all have purpose. We all have a why. How conscious we are of that is a whole nother story. And as we get more conscious, even then, oh my gosh, I've done so much purpose work and I've done so much work on myself and finding my why, of knowing what lights me up, what makes my heart sing, so much of that. And to wake up, one morning, 60 years later and still be at this place of like, I have no idea what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. It's like, hallelujah. Because that means I get to expand. That means I get to learn more about my purpose and my why. And it hasn't gone anywhere. It's simply in process of expanding. So then I get to be curious. So when you're at the why crossroads, Choose faith. Know that your why and your purpose are right there waiting for you, and become curious. So that's what I did. Even in the midst of feeling like I didn't even know if I had a reason to exist on this earth, I started to get curious. I said, what is that about? What does that mean? And from there, I invite you to go inside, because that's where most of your answers are going to be, from source, from spirit, from your intuition, from that within you, your highest self that knows why you're here, because that part is always there. And then I invite you and encourage you to know that there are resources, places where you can go. For example, the Wild and Wise Women community, the Wild and Wise Sisterhood, we're all about that. And more, we're beginning to understand how important and critical it is to collaborate and to support each other. And when one person is going, oh my God, I'm at the Y crossroads, what do I do? There'll be another woman there who can say, hey, I totally get you. Let me hold the space for you. Let me hold the space so that you can choose faith. You can know that your why and your purpose are there, and you can be curious and open up to what that is while you're supported, completely supported at that Y crossroads. And when you have other Y crossroads that are maybe, like I said, doesn't feel like it's so serious, but it's that party again, do I go or do I stay? These tools are going to help you with any kind of struggle or any place where you feel like you're procrastinating or not knowing about a choice to make. You're at a Y crossroads. And whether it's the, do I exist, why do I exist, or why do I go to this party? It's still the same thing. Choose faith. Know that this party showed up to serve you in some way. It does. Everything that happens in your life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Everything. Let me say that one more time. Everything happens for you. So when you have this invitation to a party, why would I go? Have faith that it's there to serve you. Understand that your why and your purpose are also there, because everything that we do, when we consciously do it with purpose and we know that we're there to serve ourselves and to serve others, especially when it's all about fun, oh my gosh, I mean, how much more incredible can that be? And then know that you have the resources inside to tap in and ask yourself, who really wants to go to this party? And you know what? If it's that little girl who never got invited to parties when she was growing up, like me, then what I get to do is I get to connect with that little girl inside of me and go, wow, woohoo, oh my God, thank you so much for hanging in with me all those years when we didn't get to go to parties, because guess what? We get to go to parties now, and I'm taking you, little girl, and we're going to have fun, fun, fun. And being conscious, allowing ourselves to become conscious anytime we come into that place called the Y crossroads, and we have faith, and we connect with our why and our purpose, and we allow ourselves to be supported internally and externally. Oh my gosh, that energy that I was talking about is there in so much abundance. We free up all this energy that we spend in struggle and procrastination. Because every time you show up at your Y crossroads from now on, I promise you, you're going to know exactly what to do. So until next time, I invite you to be wild, to be wise, and anytime you're at those Y crossroads, have faith. Know you have everything you need to make those kinds of decisions, and allow the universe, in whatever form that shows up, to support you in knowing that you're here for a reason, for a very important reason, and you're extraordinary. See you soon. Love you all.